It is finally time for a new tier list video. Haven't done one in actually quite a while. This one will be for the ranked season 20, for the last balance patch, and of course also for the CERULEDGE release. So let's get straight into it. We have two tier lists on the screen. I used to split them up between, like in the video, do one after another, but I like doing them both at the same time now. At the top, we have a top path and bot path tier list, and at the same time, right next to me, we have the central area tier list. So I'm rating them literally at the same time. So let's get going. Cinderace in path, still one of the worst Pokemon you can ever imagine playing. In central area, it's also not too amazing. If you play Blaze Kick and Flame Charge, this can probably be somewhere here. If you play like Pyro Ball, Feint or something, it goes down here. But if you play Cinderace's best build, I think it can definitely beat tier Pokemon. Garchomp got some nice buffs. Personally, I think Garchomp is still very underrated, but I think I really can't put it much higher than B due to a lot of CCs in the game. And Slowbro also completely countering Garchomp, of course. Central area, I think, is a tiny bit better as you just get more experience safer and you can be much stronger much earlier on. Gengar in path, still D tier. The only reason why I put Gengar over here is because with its Unite move, it can always snipe the highest enemy Pokemon and gain a lot of comeback experience. For Central area, also maybe just, if at all, B tier. Really can't put it much higher than this at all. Cramorant, absolutely amazing. I think currently, at least in solo queue, maybe not sure, like in tournaments or something, but definitely in ranked S tier in both top path and central area. Ninetales, quite alright. Can't really put it much higher than B tier though. I think that's pretty much about it. And for central area, definitely somewhere very far away from. I mean, you can play central area Ninetales, but of course there's better choices. I do find it quite fun, but nothing I can recommend. Wigglytuff is also quite solid, somewhere in the middle. I think it's always a solid pick you can be making. For central area, of course, I mean, I shouldn't even rate this, but I'm going to put it in just because, yeah, so I don't lose overview of my Pokemon. Machamp currently, I think, is quite mid. I'm just going to put in the middle as well. I mean, C is like still barely playable. Yeah, that's about it. And in central area, also probably D tier, shouldn't really be played. Absol with the buffs still in lane is not all too great. I do think it's better than other speedsters in path, but nothing too amazing either. When it comes to central area, I think Absol actually with Pursuit, Sucker Punch, Pursuit, Psycho Cut can definitely be very strong in solo queue. The more you go into like coordinated play, it can drop down in value. But otherwise, I think, especially for ranked, it's actually quite good. Slowbro, I'm going to put straight into S tier. After Trevenant got nerfed as well, Blastoise got nerfed. I think Slowbro is definitely one of the best Pokemon in the entire game right now. And I mean, I see it in pretty much every single game right now. Like, you can't play Unite without having a Slowbro on either side. Central area Jungle, of course, shouldn't be played. Mr. Mime, I think, is a solid A tier. Also should not be played in central area. Just has very good laning phase, good team fighting. Venusaur, with the buffs, I think, still, when it comes to path, it just takes a bit too long sometimes. I think B tier is quite fair. And for central area, I think also probably B tier. Did lose a lot of value over the past few months. With Pedidance, I mean, Sludge Bomb buffs, they're quite fine. But of course, they're nothing game-changing or anything, so it's not really gonna, you know, affect the game at all. So, I mean, yeah. Lucario, yeah. B, I guess. And D in central area, nothing too crazy. If you're good Lucario, you can always play it, but it's nothing too wild. Talonflame in path is definitely better than other speedsters. I'm going to put next to Absol, but still nothing too crazy either. Again, I'm going to just say, like, these are the best Pokemon of the patch. These are very solid right behind it. B means they're perfectly fine, and you can play any Pokemon in B and succeed with. C is already still quite okay. You can play Pokemon in C. It's not trolling yet. D is borderline trolling, and picking Pokemon in the E tier is straight up trolling. So just so you know, borderline trolling. It's okay. It's okay. Pretty balanced. A bit more than balanced, and these are just, you know, the best ones of the current patch. In central area, I think Talon is also A tier, a bit higher. Actually very frustrating Pokemon to be up against. Eldegoss also still easily either A or S tier. But I do think after the nerfs, I think A tier is probably the most fair. I mean, supports, I think Hoopa, in my opinion, is the best one. Definitely. And Blissey, but Eldegoss also will always be valuable. Greninja in path joins Cinderace, and honestly, I mean, I guess it joins Cinderace here too. I'm not sure. Maybe they even... I mean, Greninja is okay. Like, it's nothing too bad, but nothing too crazy either, I have to say. Crustle to me is still a solid A tier defender. in my opinion. And Central Area, of course, shouldn't be played. Snorlax, definitely outclassed by other defender Pokemon, gonna put into C tier. Then we have Charizard. Mr. Charizard, which also goes probably down here. Like, he's similar to Gengar, where you can Unite Move the highest, or like the highest level enemy Pokemon, try to get counter experience in. But it's just so bad. Like, its laning phase is just one of the worst thing in the game. Even if you can get level 7, it's all too amazing. And Central Area, it's nothing too wide either. Very mid, very average. B tier. It lacks secure for Central Area as well a bit. And a bit of early game punch, so yeah. Pikachu, a solid B tier. I think nothing much higher than this. In Central Area, I mean, it's... yeah, should be played in Central Area either. Actually, I don't want to put these Pokemon kind of in here, but I guess I will keep them for now. Zaora, when it comes to laning, I think worse than these two speedsters. So I'm going to put it there as well into D tier. And for Central Area, actually, I think it's very mid right now. Zaora is very mid. Spark Discharge can be fine. Besides that, I just don't think it's something you should be playing. It's nothing you should be playing. Gardevoir solid B tier. In both, I would say. Just a Pokemon you can always pick. And do fine with. Blissey, A tier. Maybe even S tier, but I'm going to keep that probably for Hooper. Blastoise has lost a lot of value. I'm going to put it back down to C tier, actually. Blastoise doesn't seem all too great right now. And yeah, can't really comment. Mamoswine as well. Around C, I would say. Sylveon currently probably the best attacker in the game. Is played a lot in tournaments as well. First pick, second pick. Both in Central Area and also in top and bot path. Very, very strong. S tier might look a bit too high for it, but I definitely think it can easily be up there. Greedent, B. It's only for Pokemon who actually like this one. They're going to be always successful with it and have a good time. Decidueye in path is just a tiny bit better than the rest, cause level 7 is nice, but besides that, yeah. And in Central Area, probably also just around B tier now. It's just, yeah. It's okay. It's decent. Spirit Check is nice. But nothing too crazy either, I have to say, currently. But you can definitely play Spirit Checker and have a good time. Serena, this is going to shock some people. I think Serena's great. Maybe Slowbro makes it also the life a bit hard of Serena. But personally, I rate Serena higher than the rest. It's very good in solo queue too. And in Central Area, though, I don't know. It needs stacks. Like, you actually want to go down for stacks early on to get high value. But yeah, maybe Central Area B tier is fair. Not sure. Dragonite in path is well one of the worst ones you can ever pick in top and bot path. And in jungle, definitely, I think it's quite solid. It has good builds, I think A tier. Still, it's very underrated, but I guess it's kind of boring to play sometimes. Trevenant, I'm gonna drop from S to A tier maybe, but it could still be S tier as well. I'm actually not quite sure where I should be putting Trevenant. Maybe it's somewhere in between, but it's probably still S tier, honestly. I mean, what else? There's just Slowbro, like Slowbro kind of replaced it, I guess. But in draft, Slowbro is probably going to be banned, so and then it's going to get low value again. Aegislash, I can't recommend playing right now. I really can't. I'm sorry. Like, Aegislash, I want to play the Pokemon, but oof, man. I mean, I guess B, C, I guess C is a bit more fair there. I guess C. Yeah, let's do C, and same for Central Area into the C tier. Hooper, I'm going to put into S. Duraludon with Flash Cannon buffs, I think, probably B. Central Area lost a lot of value. Like, I actually played some Stealth Rock Dragon Pulse. I posted a video as well about it yesterday. And it felt much worse. Not gonna lie, it felt not great. Even though Dragon Pulse does a bit more damage, the tech speed and boost auto attack nerfs, I feel like are very bad for Duraludon, specifically in Central Area. Azumarill, just our average B tier for Central Area, probably C. Espeon, lost a lot of value, but is still, of course, a average Pokemon. In Jungle, though, it used to be up here, but I think in Jungle it also lost a lot of value now compared to before, because it did lose a lot of damage. Delphox in Path, I think around B tier as well, just because it needs so much experience. In Central Area, definitely easily A tier, in my opinion. Glaceon in Path, yeah, I wouldn't really play this anymore in Path. I don't even see Glaceons in my games either anymore. For Path, I'm going to put into D tier, but for Jungle, still A. Jungle goes into A tier, just because Icy Wind, I think, is still quite amazing. Buzzwole. Buzzwole. I guess goes down here. I mean, it has to. Its win rate is terrible. It's so hard to close out games now. You know, the stats don't lie, I would say so, right? The stats don't lie. Then we have Tyranitar. which still feels quite annoying, not gonna lie, but I think it definitely is not S tier in top and bot path anymore, but it's still S tier in central area. There's certain games Trinitas picked and you're just going to win the game straight up, right? It's just how it's gonna go. You're just straight up going to win. Mew's hard to rank, really hard to rank. I think B, maybe C in central area now. I know in tournaments it might still be played a bit, but Mew in general rank just doesn't feel all too great. I feel like in general Attacker just don't feel good on this patch anyways. Attacker feel quite mid, except for Cram Sylveon, I guess. But Mew is always a fine choice if you want to be safe. So definitely something you can still consider playing, and you can be fine on it. Dodrio, in my opinion, is absolutely broken. I'm going to put into A here, into S tier in central area. I think it should be played much more than it is. I'm glad it is not, because it's so frustrating to be up against. Scizor, they nerfed Sword Dance for some reason. Like, I don't know, they nerfed Sword Dance. Maybe Double Hit is still fine. They wanted to nerf Scyther, nerfed Scizor at the same time. Like, I don't understand. I really don't. I guess C tier, though. Double Hit is still okay with it, maybe, but no, actually, I think it's probably D tier now again. I don't know where they nerfed it. I have no idea. And the meta doesn't really suit Scizor right now at all. Like, the meta is terrible for Scizor. So, yeah. Not really something you might... I don't think you want to really play it, if I'm gonna be honest. Then we have Scizor in central area, also into D. After the Sword Dance nerfs, it's very mid again. Scyther, a bit better in lane, but also nothing amazing. And it got nerfed. I mean, it got nerfed. I don't know, B tier for central area. Europe doesn't really like Scyther, so it's very hard for me to judge this Pokemon. Clefable lost a lot of value. I'm gonna drop it down to C tier, I think. But it's still better to have a healer than not have a healer, I guess. So maybe B tier. There's still a lot of dashes around, so it can still be valuable. Zoroark, probably A in both. Just a annoying Pokemon. Comfey Zoroark is still meta as well. Sableye, I'm gonna put into B tier. You might disagree with this, but Sableye is actually good. Sableye is not a bad Pokemon. I wish it was. I wish it was. Urshifu, both Urshifus absolutely trolling in path. And when it comes to jungle, I also think they're just not good right now at all. They're just not good. Urshifus both are kind of mid. But I guess Wicked Blow is still probably up here somewhere. Dragapult in path should never be played. Dragapult in jungle, I think still solid B tier. But can't really put it much higher. All these basic attack Pokemon are just kind of there. Comfey, I mean, Comfey is just Comfey. It's frustrating. It's good only in premates, but if you play it in premates, it is pretty good, right? So, yeah, Zoroark, Comfey, I'm just going to put them together, I guess. You know, Dodrio, Comfey, Tyranitar, Comfey, like all of these are good Comfey targets. Zacian, I think A. I think A in both. I don't think it's quite S tier. Maybe in central area it's S tier, actually. It could be. But honestly, it doesn't feel that great to me. It feels alright. I never have problems with Zacian, I'm gonna be honest. Gudra needs help. Gudra needs buffs very badly. Put it into D tier. Gudra needs a lot of buffs very badly. Lapras as well, kind of needing probably some buffs, but I think C tier is still okay. But can't really put it higher than this. Chandelure is always a good choice. B always means like B is still a fine choice. If you play Pokemon in B, you're going to do fine. So totally fine. Same for central area. You can play Overheat, Flamethrower. Umbreon. Is Umbreon S tier? Maybe Umbreon is S tier, but I don't think it's quite S tier. Maybe A. I would rather have it in A. I don't think it's necessarily like you pick it, you win kind of Pokemon. Leafeon definitely goes into S tier in both, I would say. Even though it got nerfed. Razor Leaf, Ace is still amazing and just absolutely destroys rank, doesn't matter what. Inteleon, still, I think, solid A tier Pokemon in both central area and top and bot path. Blaziken, straight into S tier, I don't think that's a question in both, especially after it got buffed for some reason. I know the buffs don't really matter all too much, but it's still buffs. It can still clutch out like a heal sometimes, and you're just going to live because you were able to heal. So yeah. Mewtwo, I mean, just probably A. Same for Mewtwo Y. I think they're not broken, but they're definitely annoying. And central area, I think Mewtwo X is quite mid in central area, and Mewtwo Y also nothing too amazing. It's okay. They're okay. Mimikyu in Path is nothing I would really recommend playing, even though it got buffed. I absolutely despise Mimikyu in Path. Unless you maybe play Trick Room or something, but you have to go to play Trick Room. I do have a Trick Room video coming out in a few days. It's going to be quite interesting, but yeah. Not sure about this one. Really. But in Central Area, probably A, even with the buffs, probably A, not S tier. Muscarada lost a lot of value, but I think it's still probably A when it comes to both. I don't think S tier anything. I think it's totally fine. Doesn't really need more nerfs or anything. So I think A tier is quite good. Metagross also easily A, maybe S. Nah, Metagross is A, right? Solid A, I would say in both. Definitely. Gyarados in Path, still gonna put into S tier. So strong in solo queue too. In jungle, of course, I don't think you should be playing jungle Gyarados. Miraidon, gonna put into S tier. In both, I think Electro Drift, even though it got nerfed, is still absolutely busted. Phalanx, easily S tier in both. Phalanx is just straight up broken. Like, but currently probably the best Pokemon on the entire patch, so it has to go into S tier. And then we have CERULEDGE. We have CERULEDGE. Now this is interesting. I think in Path, it's not great in Path. I really don't like it in Path. I think C tier in Path, it's quite mid. Doesn't have good early game. It needs experience to KO. And then Central Area, probably B tier. Like, it's definitely gonna get a buff. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get a small buff, and then it's gonna be quite strong. But for now, I don't think I can rate it much higher than these tiers I currently have it in. I think that's fair, honestly. Like, it really has bad laning phase, really. And even after level 5, when you get Psycho Cut, because you have to go Psycho Cut is the best build, it doesn't really do much in lane. It really doesn't. So you're gonna get bullied quite easily. It's very easy to take down. It does have a lot of potential, and you can definitely pop off in Central Area, but there's definitely Pokemon that are currently a tiny bit better. I feel like this tier list looks a bit weird. I'm not sure if I'm actually that happy with it. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. What I was, maybe the most wrong or right about. It does look very interesting, I gotta say. I don't know. I mean, I'm using a different tier list, I think. Maybe that's why I'm a bit confused. Usually I'll use like one with like backgrounds on them. This time we went for this one with the transparent background. So, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this tier list. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!